Welcome to Mama Mo's Tarot. I'm here with reading. I've got the Oracle Plain Secrets. So this might have to do with some of you who are feeling very vulnerable right now, and that's something that you need to get past. Like, and not necessarily, oh, I feel vulnerable, but like you're being super defensive when anybody brings up anything about you as a person. If you've been feeling that vibe lately, this is for you. So, what do you need to know? Why am I here? Why are you seeing me? Is it just something you need to work on? And I'm just meant to bring your attention to it, because nothing's coming out yet. What do you need to know? And it might be that you don't want to admit that this is something that you have to do. It might be something that you're actively avoiding, is the practice of being vulnerable, because nothing's coming out. Oh, there we go. What is this? Okay, so a new perspective is called for. Maybe you're looking at vulnerability in the wrong way. You're looking at it as like weakness, or like needing somebody, and that makes you weak, or weakness. So maybe inspect that a little bit. I think it's very brave to be vulnerable, because you show part of yourself and then you leave it there for judgment, whether you accept that judgment or not. It is still being judged, and that can have an effect or have an effect on you, on your brain. So bottom of the deck energy, pay attention. You need to be vulnerable. You're getting chances to be vulnerable in not so risky or scary ways. And it's like you're tripping at the finish line. Hercules also might be significant. Ooh. You've completely got to rid yourself of this mentality. This is go away. This is ridding yourself of evil. So somebody, this is not part of you. This is not because of you. This is not something you made. This is something that you, ooh. I'm getting a feeling of adoption though. Like you weren't forced into it, but it seemed like a safer option for you to just be unapproachable. And to like have, it feels like friendships are separate from you. You know what I mean? Like you have your friendships and your acquaintanceships and people you say hi to, people you nod at, people you wave at when you're driving. And then you have you. And you really shine when you're only with you. You need to meld these. You need to shine when you're with other people as well. There are other people that do need to see your light for one reason or another. So, 277 might be significant. What else do you need to know? How do you approach this? Imagination. Act it out if you need to. Right here. Pretend. Have conversations with yourself. Try to see if you can guess where people are going to go. And when that turns out to not be wrong, or when that turns out to be correct, or not wrong, don't take it personally. Don't let it be an ego hit. Just, okay. What's the next step? You're going to be open. Open, open, open. And there's all kinds of different ways to be vulnerable. And it might be a group activity that you really don't want to do. That you might have to showcase some skill, talent, or learning capacity that you don't want to necessarily do. Like you have your own system for how you do it. And that's usually what works for you. Yeah, because with this imagination, this person's alone. You know what I mean? Except for in their imagination. It's like you're keeping people at arm's length because you're afraid to get past a certain threshold of friendship with people, because then they'd find out who you really are, which is not a bad person. Like I was saying, not a bad person. You have guilt here for one reason or another, and you need to dispose of it, do away with it, outrun it. This guilt does not belong to you. It's not yours anymore. It might have been at one point, but now you are holding on to something that you don't need to be holding on to anymore. If you fucked up relationships and stuff like that before, and that's why you feel insecure being vulnerable, address that. Address the guilt 100%. You don't need to be carrying it anymore. It's not one of those silent, oh, I'll just carry it in silence and see if anybody notices. Nobody does. That's my burden to bear. You have got to prosper off of this. You have got to start moving. You have got to start making connections. You are missing so much. It will come back around. It might not be the exact same. You cannot miss what is for you, but again, don't make it fit. If it doesn't fit, leave it. Do not carry shit that does not belong to you, like this guilt. Woo! Come on, man. Ooh, the listener. The listener combined with prospering. Again, learn from this, because I'm looking at this and I'm seeing how everything is tied to everything else. You see those little strings that all go in her hands and she's got a hold of all of them? Why did you grab those strings? Lines, whatever they are. You also, also feels like this is coming from more than one thing. It's not like one relationship that went bad. It's like 4 or 5 that kind of went pear-shaped, went like tits up. And you took on the guilt of that because you blamed yourself for what went wrong, when you were not the only person culpable for that. And it might not have even been a bad thing anyway. It might have just been a step for you, growth, learning, to help you be more vulnerable, to constantly and consistently provide you chances to open up and share yourself with other people. 555 on the timer. It's gonna be hard though, because a lot of 5s is conflict. 5 is conflict a lot of times. So you're gonna have to fight through this. With all of my messages, you are gonna have to have a goal in mind, pinpoint that goal, and follow it with razor precision. Remaining flexible along the way in case the universe wants to bring you to your goal a different way, or because somebody else made a choice that affected the outcome of what you're dealing with right now. So I'm gonna see if there's anything else coming out. If not, we're gonna check bottom of the deck energy. Ooh, Jackalope. So Jackalope is a card of appreciating the small things that may seem wondrous, the little, so I would look for, if I were you, what the fuck is it called? Not coincidences. Look for signs, look for numbers, yeah. And I think this is going to help you practice seeing things in a different light, which is ultimately going to help you expand your consciousness and interpretation of vulnerability. But you got to get rid of that guilt, okay? You got to move forward, you got to keep going. I hope this helped. Love you.